The news outlet Buzzfeed says the U.S. president directed his former personal lawyer to lie to Congress. But a spokesperson for Robert Mueller's probe says the Buzzfeed story is not accurate. We're going to talk about that in a moment. But right now, let's go to Melissa Kent. She's in New York right now covering both stories for us today. So let's begin with what we are watching out for a little later this afternoon, that announcement from Donald Trump regarding the partial shutdown of the U.S. government. Talk to us about that, Melissa.
This came out in a tweet yesterday afternoon. Donald Trump said that he was, quote, going to make a major announcement concerning, as he's been calling it since the beginning, the humanitarian crisis on our southern border and shutdown. And those comments that you played in the introduction, he made to reporters as he was boarding Air Force One on his way to Dover Air Force Base to pay his respect to the four soldiers who were killed in Syria in an attack which was claimed by ISIS. And of course, there's been a lot of speculation here about what this announcement is going to entail. The White House has not provided any details about what the president will say, but most media outlets here are reporting that they don't expect that he will declare a national emergency, which is something that he has been threatening to use for weeks. As we know that this partial shutdown has now hit a record. It's the longest in American history. And this is, of course, all about the funding for his border wall with the Democrats and a standoff with the Democrats. You mentioned in your introduction that he says the country needs this wall. When he was speaking to reporters earlier today, as he was about to board the plane, he said that for him this is not anything personal, that this is just something that the country needs, and that walls keep out undesirables. What most media outlets are speculating is that in his speech today, he'll offer some kind of olive branch or concession to the Democrats. Now, whether this is something that the Democrats actually want is another question, or whether it's something the Republicans think that they should want, we'll have to wait and see.
Wait and see. As we say, that's going to happen a little later this afternoon. But as we wait for that comment from Donald Trump a little later today, people are still very much talking about that Buzzfeed story that that basically hit the wires yesterday, and now the reaction to it. Tell us more about that.
So basically, this Buzzfeed article cites two unnamed federal law officials who say that President Donald Trump, when he was running for president, ordered his now disgraced former lawyer, Michael Cohen, to lie about the construction of a Trump Tower in Moscow, about the timing of those negotiations, which, of course, has since been abandoned, the idea of building that tower. He wanted Cohen, according to the article, to claim that the negotiations had ended months before they actually had. The White House has said that this is categorically false, and in a very unusual move, Robert Mueller, the U.S. special counsel investigating the possible collusion between Russia and the Trump campaign, issued its own statement saying, and I'll just read it very quickly, that a section of it, that Buzzfeed's description of specific statements to the special counsel's office and characterization of documents and testimony obtained by this office regarding Michael Cohen's congressional testimony are not accurate. Other than that, we're not really sure which parts of the article it disagrees with. Trump was, of course, very pleased by this, went quickly headed to Twitter, tweeting that fake news is truly the enemy of the people. This morning, he spoke about it again as he was boarding the plane to Dover Air Force Base. Here's a little bit of what he said.
The Buzzfeed piece, and maybe equally as bad, the coverage of the Buzzfeed phony story. It was a total phony story. And I appreciate the special counsel coming out with a statement last night. I think it was very appropriate that they did so. I very much appreciate that. I think that the Buzzfeed piece was a disgrace to our country.
Buzzfeed, for its part, the editor-in-chief has come out saying that his paper stands by its reporters and its reporting, and it's asking Mueller's office to clarify which aspects of the article it disputes.